There are some basic terms that are introduced at the beginning of the book that in DLP 120 that get used throughout, but that you might forget what they mean. And one of the most common ones is a word like fill handle. Right? You'll see fill handle used a lot, but you might forget what it means. So in this video, I'll go through some of these basic terms. And I want to draw your attention to a particular page, which is 1-7. Right, so here is page 1-7, and at the bottom of this page is this chart, right? And this chart walks you through the names that the book uses for these different symbols that your mouse can have, right? So let's start with the normal one. I'll show you what I mean, right? On Excel over here, here's the normal pointer, right? That's just that kind of white plus sign or white cross that your mouse just looks like normally when you're moving it around the Excel sheet. Right, so that is just the normal mouse. Let's go to the next one. There's fill handle, right? That's the one that we were looking at, right? And that is the black cross or black plus sign, right? To get that over here, I move my mouse to the corner. So I have to click on a cell, right? So let's just do this cell. If I put my mouse on the corner, see if I can focus this, you'll see it turns into this black cross, and I have to have it right there. And this can be kind of tricky because even if you're just slightly off, it won't turn into that fill handle symbol, right? The black cross, and then the fill handle is this little, right? It's the black cross and also this little dot right there at the corner, right? So if I click there, there it is, and that's how I can drag this down like that, right? And it's called the fill handle because when you drag it, it fills in everything you've dragged it over. The next symbol they mention here is the I-beam, which is this little symbol. And you'll recognize this from doing things like writing essays, right? If I double click in here, right, it'll give me that I-beam, which is to actually move the cursor so I can type things, right? And by double click, I just mean that I'm actually just, right, pressing twice quickly, right? So I double click here. That gets me my I-beam so I can click in different places to move the cursor around. The next one they mention is this move symbol. So I'm gonna kind of click away and then click back on this cell. And so I have a Mac and it looks like the move symbol has actually become this little white hand, but it could also be this little button here, which looks like an arrow and then some more arrows, right? So it may appear either way, but it'll do the same thing. You have to put your mouse right on the perimeter of the cell, meaning on the edge, like on the green line that surrounds it, anywhere around here. And if you click, let me see if I can do that again. Right, so if I click here, I can drag it and move it somewhere else. Right, so I put it right on the edge on that green line and I can move it around. You don't have to worry too much about this copy one, but this column resize button is important, right? And that looks like a black line with 2 arrows going through it. If I go back over here, this appears when I put my mouse between columns, right? So here, like my mouse is right between C and D. It's actually, I put it on that line between them. And if I click and hold, I can move this over, right? I click and hold and move it over that way. That's the column resize. And again, it's tricky. Like a lot of these, you have to get it right on the line that you're looking for. And this should work this way as well, right? And that is it for here. I would recommend keeping note of this page. You could kind of dog ear it like this, or even just take a picture of it with your phone just to have this handy in case you don't recognize one of these terms when they come up.